Today we're going to take you guys in a complete outdoor living space build. First thing we're going to do is we're going to move all the existing concrete. We're going to jackhammer, break it out, and haul it all out. Then we're going to be removing it with an excavator, and we're going to be digging down 10 inches below the soil. Next, we're going to be bringing in 2 tandem loads of densely graded aggregate. This is going to be 10 inches thick. We're going to compact it with a jumping jack. We're going to compact it with a plate tamper, and we're going to contract it with a bow mag, as well as the tracks of the excavator, and we're going to be going back and forth over it with the plow. This is going to have a 1/4 inch of pitch per foot as well, so it'll be 4 inches of pitch overall, and it will be perfectly flat, which is what we need. Here it is, down, compacted, and perfectly flat all the way throughout. Next up, we got our 3/4 inch pipes, but when the outside measures 1 inch, so then it's ready for our bedding sand. We wet our densely graded aggregate, and what this does is it hardens it, makes it more compact. And then after we get it all down and wet and our poles are set, we then start bringing in our sand. The base, or bedding sand, I should say, will be concrete sand. Now we're doing an undercut. We want all our pavers to tuck underneath our newly laid cultured stone on this porch we just built. Now what we do is we use our levels and screeds to get the right pitch. We want these poles level to each other, but have pitch running all the way down. Again, we want 4 inches of pitch overall, which is already in the stone. It's already reflected in that. We just have to level the pipes to each other to achieve the look we're going for with pitch. Here, the Techo-Block pavers have been delivered. They're Techo-Block Champlain Gray, and we're going to have an onyx border. Now, as you'll see, we got our pipes leveled, and we take our 12-foot screed and we screed down. And we broke it down into quadrants. We do 1 quadrant at a time, and we leave the pipes in until we lay. And then as we lay, we slide the pipes down. This is so if anything steps in there, footprints or anything happens, we can re-screed it out and get our perfectly smooth, flat setting bed, which we need for our pavers. So we have our 10-inch base and our 1-inch setting bed. Here you'll see we're doing our 9, 12, 15 right triangle to square this all off. We have our line set, and it's time to run. Here you'll see our 6x13 onyx Blue 60 soldier course, and then we're running our Champlain Gray paver Techo-Block Blue 60 as an inlay with a randomized pattern. We also have our opening left for the walkway that's going to go on the inside. There you'll see our border is cut, and it is tucked under the porch cultured stone. Now we're going to continue laying. There's our beautiful undercut that really flows. That porch we did as well, which has cultured stone, bluestone treads, and the same paver inlay. Now, as you'll see, we are laying this 1,000 square foot paver patio. We have our border that goes 360 degrees around this porch and patio. Now, that's the pipe I was talking about. I slide it down, I fill it in, I use my mag float, I trowel it out so everything's smooth and flat, and I continue laying. I do this until the pipe is entirely removed. But again, I always leave it in case I have to go back and fill in an area because if something happened to it. Otherwise, I never step on the setting bed. There you'll see I'm laying the rest of my paver patio. We're getting to the end. I'm laying the border all the way in, and then I'm going to mark my cuts. So this goal, there was really no cuts except against the porch. We had to cut those angles, obviously. So there's those cuts. Then you check for square and plumb on your patio as we have it. And we tuck back with our cuts so we make sure it is a straight line, a perfect line for when I put my polymeric sand in. We want everything to look sharp and everything to pop. As you'll see, the entire patio is now laid. We take our blower, we blow it off entirely to get off all the dust from cutting, from laying, the sand that's on top, whatever we do, we have to get all the dust off the patio. Now that it's clean, now that our pavers are fully laid, we can turn our attention next to the concrete border edging. We use concrete to lock our pavers in. We don't use the plastic paver edging because that is known to move. So for our concrete edging, what we do is we trench down and we dig it out. You'll see here I'm digging 8 inches deep by 6 inches wide, a concrete trench. I'm going to do this around the entire patio. Obviously, this takes a while. This is going to take about 40 bags of 5,000-pound concrete mix. You'll see I'm trenched all the way around before I start mixing and pouring my concrete. And as you'll see, I pour it. I stay about 1 inch down from the top. I ramp it down. So I take it, I put it in, I use my mag float, and I ramp it down so water will continue to flow off of it. And I just finish it with the mag float, and this will all be eventually covered. I end up spreading topsoil over all this, and when you use the Black Beauty grass seed, it will grow grass on top of this. Another method you could be doing is you could put mulch, or you could put a Kentucky River Rock, or some kind of stone, and go like a 1-foot bed around that way. But you need the concrete to lock the pavers in. You don't want the pavers to ever be able to move. So now that that is all down and locked in, it's time to turn our attention to the walkway. Now there was a step onto this walkway. There was a 6-inch Belgian block step, So now we dug down 18 inches and we put in crushed concrete and we compacted the hell out of it. And now we're going to be laying our mini Krita wall. These are 3-inch wall stone. So we're going to end up doing 4 courses, burying 2, revealing 1, and then a cap. So that's going to be our 6-inch reveal. Now what we're doing is we're spreading our setting bed. We have our poles in again, 3/4 inch poles, which measure 1 inch on the outside because you want your 1-inch setting bed. You screed, you'll see our onyx roll lock there, which matches the onyx border. So everything all ties in. Now we perfectly left out our paver walkway thing so we could run right from there. We turned our 6x13 border. Instead of being a soldier, this is going to be a sailor, and we're going to run. Same randomized pattern, and we run all the way down. We have our lines. We have our square measured off the house and squared, so it's a perfectly straight walkway. We lay, we level, and we run. And you'll see the only cuts we have would be at the end. We don't do it the other end because it's running off the patio. This is the beginning. Our cuts go there, but we cut them so they're the right size so you don't know. We don't want small cuts. We make it so you can barely tell. Now we find our center point. We put our roll lock on the center point, and then we cut our piece and we roll, and that's all set. That will be glued. The rest of the wall is not glued because bond to bond, as TechoBlock says, is the best bond, is block to block. And we only glue the top course. Here is our entire patio laid. Here it is with the wet look, which I think personally is the best look. The pavers look sleek and shiny, and they look the best when wet. We have our porch that's wet. It beautifully ties in together as it's all a plays on grays and tans in the Champlain gray. Now it's time to lay our onyx caps. We are setting them in glue, and now it is time to dig out and trench out for the rest of our concrete border that's going to lock our walkway in. Same thing, 8 inches wide, 8 inches deep, 6 inches wide. We get it, and we mag floated out 5,000-pound concrete mix. Now it's time to blow off the entire patio of any debris. This is going to take 15 bags of Gator Max G2 polymeric slate gray sand. We spread the bags first. Next, we get the push broom and we spread it throughout. After we get the push broom, we get the whitewash brush and we comb it through. We leave residue on top of the pavers for a reason. I'm going to take my 4-pound dead blow hammer and I'm going to beat every section so that that stuff that is on top gets even further down into the paver. And the point is, I want to beat it down so it compacts, it settles down more, and then I go through with a whitewash brush and fine-tooth comb it so it is slightly below the paver edging. That is for look. You want it to be sleek, you want it to be clean, and when you hose it, you want it to go off and water activate that and continue washing the rest. If you leave it above the paver, it creates a sloppy mess and does not look sharp. You want it slightly below the paver, as you'll see here. It's extensive what we do with the brushing of the whitewash brush over and over again. It's repetitive, but it's what gives it the best look. And I've been commenting on before, oh, what are you paid hourly? No, this is how you do it to make it look pristine. So here it is all brushed in. Now it's time for water activation. We take a hose on the shower setting. We do it for 30 seconds in each section, starting in the highest most section, which would be against the porch, running down because obviously we're pitched away from the porch. Here it is completely wet. Everything is water activated. This takes 15 minutes to dry. They just have to be dry before the activation, and then 15 minutes no rain for 15 minutes after, and you're good to go. And now again, this is our wet look. I feel this is our best look. Everything pops. You see the grays. I think the onyx border plays extremely well with the bluestone on the porch top and the treads. So again, here's everything with our wet look. Now our next order of business would be grading. That's going to really finish things off until spring. When we come back, the landscapers come in and really do their job. But for now, we're going to spread all the mulch back on this side, level off. This is going to be slightly below the patio when we're done, but we're raking out, grading out. Now we're dumping topsoil. We got a few yards of topsoil that we're spreading, approximately 1 foot past where we were, 1 to 2 foot. And same thing, we start to the paver and we feather it down so it continues with our pitch and runs away. You'll see our pop-up drain there from where they had the leader tie-ins. And then where the trucks came in, we're filling that all in with topsoil and we're raking everything out so the job looks good when we're done. We then blow all the topsoil that got on the pavers off, make sure it's clean and pristine. Next, we're going to get out our hose and hose everything off and make sure that it runs away, none of the dirt's up too high, and so that it gives us our clean look. Now you'll see here is our beautiful, finished, over 1,000 square foot paver patio that's going to host many parties come spring. Everything ties in together with our color scheme, which is the biggest part. You have to know this color scheme you're going with, plan accordingly, and make everything tie in together so that everything pops, everything looks thorough, everything looks finished. So thank you for following. Here's our look.
Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Thank you.